In FlexSim, operators are task executors that can travel, load and unload flow items, function as a shared resource for processing stations, and perform other simulation tasks. Operators can represent human workers, robotic arms, or any entity that performs these tasks. You can configure operator properties and build operator logic to suit the needs of your model, helping you to evaluate and optimize resources within your system. Begin with FlexSim open to your model. In the library, under Task Executors, add an operator to your model. Then select that operator. In Properties, you can change the visuals, animations, carrying capacity, load and unload times, and movement speed of the operator. Once you finish setting these properties, you can begin building the logic for the operator to complete tasks within your model. In this example, a simple process is set up in the model by adding and connecting a source, a queue, a processor, and then a second queue. Now, you are ready to connect the operator. Simply press and hold S as you click and drag between the operator and the fixed resource where the operator will be used. Here, the processor. Alternatively, in the toolbar, select S. Connect center ports. Only this time, click and drag between the operator and the queue to see how easily a mistake is corrected. To disconnect the operator, select and then delete the connection, or press and hold W as you click and drag between the operator and the incorrect resource. The connection between the operator and queue is removed. Once an operator is connected to a fixed resource, make sure that the resource requires an operator. Select the fixed resource to view its properties, where you can select either Use Operators or Use Transport. In this case, both are selected because the operator will be used to process the part and to transport the part from the processor to the queue. Reset and run the model. When an item arrives at the processor, the operator processes the item and then moves it to the queue. Another way to connect operators to fixed resources is to use a dispatcher. From the library, under Task Executors, add a dispatcher to the model. Connect the dispatcher to the processor using the S-center port connection, and then disconnect the operator from the processor. A dispatcher allows you to control multiple operators or other task executors, and to enable more complex tasks. For example, you might use it to control multiple operators working on the same machine at once, or to coordinate movement between multiple operators across multiple machines. Using an A connection, connect the dispatcher to the operator. Make sure that the arrow moves from the dispatcher to the operator, which ensures that the connection will function properly. When the simulation is stepped forward, you can see that the dispatcher sends the operator a task, and the operator completes the task by processing items and moving them to the queue. To better illustrate the capabilities of dispatchers, a more complex model is created by duplicating the basic process twice, and then connecting the dispatcher to each of the processors. The dispatcher is also connected to an added second operator. As the model is stepped forward, the dispatcher sends operators to each processor as items require processing. However, you can easily configure the dispatcher with the specific logic required for your model. In this case, select Processor 2 to view its properties. Then, adjust the use operator's value to require 2 operators to process the parts. Reset and run the model. While operators travel to the required processors, You can see that for processor 2, both operators must be present to process the items before moving them to the queue. This demonstrates how a dispatcher can help to facilitate the coordination of more complex operator logic. There are additional options for configuring operator logic in your model. With processor 1 selected, in Properties, expand the Operator dropdown to view the many options available for acquiring operators. Alternatively, you can use the sampler to select a specific operator for a fixed resource. Now you are ready to begin using 3D logic for operators in your model.